Welcome to John Sue and Michael Rosmer's video Battleathon inspired by Gary Vaynerchuk. Today we're going to talk about when everything that worked in your past no longer works today. When everything in your past that worked for you and made you successful before no longer works today. Have you ever been really good at something? Say you were the top performer at a company. Then you went to a different company, and all of a sudden, all of the things that you did in this the old company doesn't work in the new company. Well, that happened to me in real estate. I started real estate in Edmonton, Alberta, and I had things going really good. And I left. Looking back now, I left way too early before I had everything set up. But it was going good, and I just left, and I thought it's going to run itself. Yeah, I can manage everything remotely. Fast forward to Calgary, now into Vancouver. Everything I knew about real estate that I thought to be the whole picture was actually only half the picture. And that's a major reason why things started falling apart and I ended up juggling a whole bunch of balls at once. You've probably been there, right? When things are going good and all of a sudden it goes to shit and you're like, what the hell happened? And what I realized was everything that I knew or I thought was the whole truth was only half the truth. And what I did for real estate kind of worked, but kind of didn't. And it was at a point where I stretched the kind of work part so much that it wasn't working. And it put me in a really tough position. Because now I'm in a different city and my bread and butter was not in the city that I'm in. And as any of you know, doing anything, starting off something new, requires a lot of energy, a lot of hard work, and over an extreme amount of patience. I had the patience, almost to delusion, right? I believed in it so much that what was going on outside of that was just drowned out, and the magnitude and the feedback of what was going on, I was oblivious to. Why? Because, yeah, long story short, I was coming out of a hardcore, severe, self-centered, self-delusional mindset or stage in my life. So going back to this whole thing about when everything you thought worked starts to fail. It was the most humbling, scary, eye-opening slap in the face that I've had in a long time. When things that worked for you before stop working. And I'm one of those really stubborn, donkey-ass, mule guys who will fight it right till the end. I'm the guy who goes down with the burning ship just because he believed in that ship so much. And that's literally what happened, is I held on longer than a normal person should or would. And I clung on and I fought to keep what I believed to be the truth alive. And when I got to a point where I said, I think I might be wrong, that really took the rigidness out of how I did things, the rigidness out of myself, the type A. It literally pulled the plug on it, where I became really soft, more malleable, and more receptive to other people, right? You know, I read way too many of those self-help books, and I was so intellectually fortified in my beliefs. I'm the guy who has a freaking response for everything, where it's like, shut the fuck up, guy. Is there a time when you don't have something to say? And I just built such a strong fortress for myself to defend myself, and I was so well read and well well, how would I say, versed in the negotiation or the discussions, that was really difficult to have, how would we say, a back and forth conversation with myself, never mind other people. So when everything broke down, it taught me the skill set to really be curious and be open to the possibility that what I knew and what I believed in and what was successful for me was no longer so. So anyone doing something in life and really betting on themselves and going for it, you've been there. And you've had the tides turn, because they always do turn. You've heard the saying, what got you here won't get you there. That's kind of where I was at in life. And the big key nugget that I think that I got from this is to really be conscious and sensitive and aware of the feedback outside that's happening in your life. It made me really more hypersensitive to others, but to the situations. So I was more in tune with my life. Because I was, before I was actually open to listening to everything and in tune to things, I only heard my own voice. Everything else, I only heard when it has something to do with me, and everything else I shut out. It was like a very strong mental and energetic shield, a force field that I controlled and allowed, and it connected me to my own mind, but it disconnected me from the world. And kind of where I was in my life, taking things to the next level, you work with other people, and you've got to integrate and work, with other people. Everyone has different ways. And when you're the guy who's all shut off and closed off, you're a really difficult person to work with. So that's my 2 cents on, when things that work for you break down, and what benefits or nuggets that you might pull from that happening. Thank you for watching my video.